The VAR Show. The one place for your weekly football update.
Hola, a very warm welcome to the VAR show. The show which talks about all the various major football leagues in detail. Today we're going to go into the theme of interviews, and we have a very interesting guest with us, and one of my friends from Barcelona. So without wasting much time, I would like to thank Mr. Rajat Yadav for coming on the show. And for those who do not know, Rajat has passed out from IIT Delhi, and then he changed careers and moved into coaching, and he has been coaching for Baichung Bhutia football schools, youth teams, and in Delhi. And he spent around a year in Barcelona, and that is where I met him. So we'll begin the talk, and I would like to ask you, how are you and what are you doing during this pandemic period?
So I recently became a father. So despite lockdown, my baby Zaha has been keeping my spirits up. But I do terribly miss football because last season I had a very intense year. And I was ready to just take it a step up with my team this year. And suddenly I cannot see them. I cannot train. So we cannot even watch football. So in those terms, it's in just football terms, it's been a little,
Yeah. So, but hopefully that will change because today Bundesliga is starting. So at least you can watch not maybe your favorite team, but one of the teams in Bundesliga. And I'll get to a very interesting thing. You are an alumni of IIT Delhi. Then how come football and all this?
Yeah. So when I was in college, so I used to play roughly around 5 sports. So my classes used to get over around 3 o'clock, and then we used to go play tennis. After tennis, most probably it'll be football or hockey. And then maybe sometimes at night basketball. So since I was a kid, I've never ever stayed home at this time between 5 to 7 evening time. This is something genetic in me that I have to be outside during this time, and this is playtime. And so from college, I was sure that I'm not going to spend my evenings working. That was sure. I'm going to come back somehow. I did not know the exact pathway. I knew I liked coaching because I had some I was sports secretary during my college days. So I knew that I enjoyed this feeling of coaching, and I obviously loved football. So I decided to, this was all a very conscious decision. So this wasn't by luck. So I decided to get into stock market trading so that I have my evenings free. So markets get finished by 3:30. So I always have my evenings free. So I decided this very early. So I left my first job in 6 months. And 6 months since then, in 2012, I've been in stock markets. So that gives me my evenings free, and that allows me to coach football. So, yeah.
So, generally, if you talk with the general public, you associate maybe IITs with the most brightest minds, and something you do not particularly associate is sports, right? Like when you see from the outside, you think you have to struggle a lot, study a lot to get into IIT. So, how is the sports culture maybe in IIT?
So I'll answer this question in two parts. First is you talked about the smartest minds. Okay, one of my biggest role model is Arsene Wenger. Okay, so not only is he a incredible mind, intelligence, emotional intelligence, and the human touch. So he's a perfect role model. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You can have role models from different places. So right now in football, I see so many role models. Like right now, there probably won't be one person who hates Klopp right now. They may not like Liverpool, but it's difficult to dislike Klopp because everything he does with passion. He does with energy. He does with integrity, and he does it well. So those qualities, the qualities that these great managers have, from Ferguson to Wenger to Pep and Klopp, they go beyond football and inspire people. So clearing an exam is good. It's one sort of intelligence, but you have these role models in football who inspire millions and millions of people, and who also provide incredible happiness to people like you and me, who go all the way to Barcelona to study football and maybe try to emulate them. So yeah, coming to the second part of the question, the sports culture in IIT surprisingly is very intense. So we have a sports league that goes around every year for every single sport. So we have 10 hostels. So in a way, we have 10 clubs. So we have a sports league for every football, hockey, lawn tennis, table tennis. So every sport. So if you like sports, then IT is the place for you, which people do not know. So and we have the fantastic facilities: full-size football coach, futsal hockey coach, 8 tennis coach. Where do you find 8 tennis coaches? So yeah, so in that way, IT is a great place for sports people.
So, like many of them, maybe they do not want to get into engineering, and maybe they have done it. Was it difficult for you to maybe switch? Maybe you passed it from IIT, you had the world at your feet, because it's not easy. Not everyone passes out from IIT. So was it difficult for you to shift from maybe IIT, maybe your field, to sports? Like in terms of maybe your parents, or maybe, even
Yes,
for
yes.
yours, you feel, right, like, will I be successful?
Yes, and that's a very good question, and it's a question that I struggle with, like almost every day. So the thing is, yes, the problem comes that you have to give away a lot of opportunity cost. So you could have a good job which pays you really, really well, and you can have a great career somewhere else. So it's an opportunity cost you have to give away to be here. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to get a decently successful career in stock markets. So that I never ever have to completely say that I'm completely in football, because you know that economies in football, at least in the subcontinent, do not make sense. Right now, no matter who you are, you will not get paid a decent living wage. You will get a wage, that's fine, but you won't be able to live exactly like I would be able to live off a corporate salary. I wouldn't be able to do that. So I try to do it through stock markets. Uh, I would like to say there are some people who've made it much better in India right now for sports coaches. So at least they can have a go. So there were a couple of my seniors who started this company called Baichung Bhutia Football Schools. So Baichung Bhutia Football Schools in 10 years has grown to over 200 coaches in India. Now that is the one company I know which at least provides coaches a platform where they can at least earn and live and still coach football. So 10 years back, this was impossible. So I wouldn't exist if Baichung Bhutia Football Schools wouldn't exist. So there are people above me who took much greater risks, and I'm a very risk-averse person. That's why I still have 2 careers. I still haven't completely. I do not stay in football for 24 hours. A lot of managers have said this before. Brendan Rodgers said this, that it takes a lot of time working 2 jobs, getting the licenses, and finally land a football job. We all know about Sari. Sari was a banker till a very, very late age. And one day he decided, okay, I'll go into. So I'm somewhere in that pathway where I cannot completely go into football because of the financial reasons. But I want to stay in football and simultaneously maintain the other career. And the questions that come into my mind, I take a day to just shut them off and get back to football, because you cannot have everything. So football is very rewarding. I really like working with players. I really like implementing things and getting results out of them. There is nothing better than going to a Sunday for your team's match and coming back home with a victory. And so that's a great feeling. So whatever it is, I like it.
So, as you touched upon the topic of the Barcelona time, you spent almost a year or so. When I met you, you had spent around almost a year. You're in the end of your year in Barcelona. And with MBP, and you're doing your diplomas and absorbing as many knowledge as possible from the surrounding area. How was the experience there?
Uh, I First of all, there was something magical. There was something magical in my head about City Barcelona. So since 4-5 years, I had this in my mind that I want to go to Barcelona. I just wanted to go to Barcelona. I didn't care about football. I just wanted to live there somehow. So when I was coaching, I thought maybe I'll apply to clubs to see if I can get in like assistant coach job somewhere in a any club. But I just wanted to experience the culture, football culture of Barcelona, and work at some club. Luckily, I found MVP, so that was perfect. MVP gave me the opportunity to stay there and study there. Uh, uh, I was actually pretty surprised by the content that was given to the provided by MVP because I wasn't expecting it to be that good. So and I got to meet with UEFA A coaches from all over Europe, South America, the two big places in football. I had a I made friends with a player who played professionally for a very big club in Mexico. I had the youth manager of a very big club in Mexico becomes friends with me. So MVP provided me great connection, also great knowledge of what the level of coaches abroad is. One thing I realized there was that talking to those guys was that it wasn't that we are anyway behind. Like I could understand everything. I could perhaps add more sometimes, and I could do more things. So it was for me a confidence booster. So when you go amongst people, and you know that you can stand here, you belong here. It gave me a lot of confidence. So it gave me knowledge. It gave me incredible exposure, and it gave me confidence that I can do this on any scale if I want to. If I want to is a very if some opportunity arrives, because I'm still waiting for an opportunity. If an opportunity arrives, I'm jumping in and going wherever it is.
So, the last time I met you, I guess it was in Espanyol versus Real Betis, in 2018. I think we had gone for the scouting course for like the live scouting. So what have you been up to since then, like in coaching terms?
Right. So I had taken a complete year off from coaching since I was there in Barcelona. After I came back, I quickly took up a development squad team here in my city. So I took up U11s and I started training them from, I started all the ideas in my head. So U11 team was my project. So I trained them for a year. We played around 25 to 30 matches that year. So almost every weekend there was a match. So that was my first full competitive season with the development squad team. Development squad teams have scouted kids which are at a better level here. So I've been coaching. I've just been coaching. And I thought, let's take it step by step. Let me take this team. Let me coach it. Let me get some results. Let me learn more. So last year was an incredible learning experience for me. Making mistakes, performing well. The best satisfaction is when a team plays the way you want to. So if I was able to achieve maybe 70% of that, then that made me happy. So I'd been coaching. I was coaching entire last year.
So if you had to describe yourself as a coach, what would be your philosophy? I'm like 90% of the other coaches inspired by modern coaches like Pep, and also I'm very, very heavily influenced by Arsene Wenger. So I'm all for with the ball. Everything has to be with the ball, and attacking wise and defensively, everything has to be about getting the ball back. Now with these two bases, you can start and doing a lot of things, but I also want my teams to be very fast and very quick in the final third. So
My style is mostly that have the ball, produce chances, have the ball, produce chances. Just don't give the ball away. So broadly, this philosophy. Then we can go deep into everything.
So you have spent so much time gaining knowledge, at least from my eyes, you are quite qualified. Do you think that you have to go to Barcelona to get a knowledge about football? Because the knowledge in Southeast Asia is not up to the mark.
Look, now we have internet, so that is one big leveler across the world. That anything anyone writes in UK, I know. So there are some incredible Twitter handles, incredible websites, which provide a lot of detail and lot of minute detail of tactics. So you can read and read and read. I went to Barcelona. I wanted to go to Barcelona and then come back and say that, okay, now I know everything I needed to know. Now I need to go on the field and execute. So during the process of coaching, when you start coaching, you don't know where to start. You don't have a structure. So should I go and start with play 1v1s? Should I do 4v4 defending? Should I do some passing exercise? Should I work on fitness? What should I do? Because there are so many aspects which you can focus upon. So how do you structure your entire philosophy? You have a philosophy, but you have to coach it. So how do you structure it? So I needed a structure. I needed some way to organize it. So you get we taught those in licenses also, but I also wanted to see what the structure MVP provides. So going there, I got what I wanted, and it filled the gaps in my knowledge. And yes, maybe if I would have stayed here, maybe I wouldn't have got those pieces of knowledge. So yeah, it helped me. And I probably, even on internet, you won't find those pieces, which I was able to get there to fit the jigsaw.
So you coach. You are saying you are coaching your kids, right? Okay, like in Bachung Bhutia, I guess, football schools, and you will have a lot of coaches. Like you said, it's all across the country. So maybe when you come across some other people, do you like maybe feel satisfied that yes, during my time in Barcelona has helped me in comparison to what I know or what my batch of players are producing in comparison to other coaches?
200%. I'm actually a little bit. I have a slight superiority complex. I feel that I can do a very good job with any set of team I get and any set of players I get. So because the key thing is what I feel is that I can break down the entire problem of coaching into coachable structures, and then it's easier for me to solve each problem and then get into a cohesive unit. So I took a lot of time to do that. So I started coaching in 2016, early 2016. So 3 years I tried everything with kids, hit and trial, experimentation, but I read and read and read. I like reading. So with all those reading, slowly I had a lot of ideas. Going to Barcelona, getting the structure, I could fit in those things and how to coach them. I do feel satisfied. With the way my teams play. Sometimes results are here and there, and I am looking for new challenges now, because I think I can add value to other coaches and other teams with the way I can split the problem of coaching for the players.
So I know you support Arsenal, during the time of your during Barcelona time, and will definitely not let you go away without touching the topic. Actually, what do you think of Arteta?
Well, I was hoping there has never been a Spanish guy I have disliked except for Unai Emery. He was the first Spanish guy ever who I did not like that much. So I was secretly hoping that Arteta would become the manager. There are certain reasons. Number one reason was that he's I feel a manager should also be a role model. for players. When you look up to the manager, you should feel inspired. And Arteta, I think, gives that vibe that he's a very hardworking, meticulous guy who's at the job. Uh, Plus, I think we are in an era where very smart people are coming to coaching. So we need an element of nerdiness in coaches. So I think Arteta has that element where he goes into details, and he's worked with Pep, and every Arsenal fan is secretly hoping that he's rubbed something off from Pep, and that will rub off to Arsenal. He's worked under my two role models, Arsene Wenger and Guardiola. So that was my choice. So I'm very happy he's here, and I can't wait for football to begin again and see what Arsenal does.
So, like what are your plans for the future? Like you're saying you're coaching the kids, and you have also mentioned that you're looking for the challenges. But other than that, are you looking for challenges within the country, or because of your MVP connection, have you got offers from outside the country or something? Has it happened?
Uh, Look, I'm happy coaching my team as long as there are sometimes you get an opportunity. Let's say someone says from some A division club somewhere that you come and become my assistant coach, or you take up this team. I'll give up everything and go. Like I'll give up my trading career, everything, and go, because if the opportunity is big enough, you go. Or somewhere, even if it's just getting the foot in the door in some big club, or if I consider the opportunity big enough, I'll just give up everything and go. If I do not get anything, then I'm happy coaching kids and improving my skills, and let it take as long as it takes for an opportunity to come. But yes, I am looking for opportunities. I will be very happy to assist anyone in a top in the I League, First Division, Second Division, ISL, if I'm lucky. So, so yes, I'm looking for opportunities. But if not, I'm happy to coach kids and produce results here and make them happy and make the parents happy.
So, like you have been in, like you said, from 2016, you have been coaching. So there'll be many of them, like who will have that dilemma in their mind, who are like you, like maybe from engineering or maybe from any other background. So do you have any advice for them? Like,
my advice for them, I do not want to sound pessimist, but my advice for them is to carefully consider the financial aspects of the job. Okay. So, because football does not pay money even in Europe. So I had one of my very good friends from a club in Porto, and he said, you can come to Portugal and you can coach U11s in Porto. I'll get you a job there. You can coach U11s in Porto. But the caveat is they won't pay you any money. They said they will pay you 150 euros a month. So there is very little money in football, even in Europe, at the grassroots levels. So in Spain, the good thing is that they have fields with floodlights. So all the coaching, all the amateur clubs, everything takes place from 6 to 8 or 9. So people can go to their regular jobs and come back and play football. Unfortunately, we do not have that. So it's very difficult in football to survive as a football coach alone, because there is not enough money. So eventually, sooner or later, you will face that pressure. But it's all up to you. If you feel strongly about that, and if you're from an engineering background, I would encourage engineers, because engineers are problem solvers. So you will try to figure out the problem in your own unique way. I would encourage engineers to come in. We need more coaches. We need more coaches with a mind which is problem solving. So I won't say no, but I would just say plan it carefully. And if you've got into it, just stay into it. So things take time. Things have taken long for Arsene Wenger started coaching when he was 30. He got Arsenal job at 48. We all know about Sarri, how long he coached very low division teams for many, many, many years. So if you like football, then you will find a way. So again, just to summarize, figure out finances. If you have engineering background, very good. Come in, stay patient, give it 10 years, and you will have your chance.
So on that note, Rajat, I'll ask you a final question. Whom do you prefer, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
I think if you ask this question to Cristiano Ronaldo after a couple of drinks and say, honestly, just tell me. So you'd say probably Messi. Okay. So I'm a big Messi fan. And probably 99% of the Cristiano Ronaldo fans. You wouldn't ever see a Lionel Messi guy going around and asking this question because, so I'm a Lionel Messi fan.
So Rajat, thank you so much for talking to us and wish you all the best. Hope you get you a big break. Maybe through this interview, you never know. Like you get a big break. Maybe you be the coach of ISL, some team head coach. So we wish you all the best for your future endeavors and thank you again. And hope we can talk again soon. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Subhashish. Hope we talk again soon and hope we meet again soon.
Sure.